I got some great news that you guys are going to just... So, as we know, we've been raising a lot of money, us as a nation, for the LA wildfires. Well, they're saying that between the Fire Aid concert and the Grammys, where it was brought up a lot, here's the code, here's the footage, they have now raised over $120 million between those two shows.
Dang.
That's awesome.
So that's great. It's got to feel good because I know we're like, there's a lot of times where we go, what can you do? What can you do? And it's like, we are doing things. Hopefully that's helpful. I have seen a lot of those programs in play, and it's great to see footage of things making positive change.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
When you think about all the big companies that have donated too.
Yes.
Good Lord. That's how you get to those giant numbers.
Yeah.
It's like, here's a couple million. Okay.
I'd be interested to know on the Grammys, and like, I always love it when any sort of campaign has like small, like when we were raising money, I think our average donation was like $18. And that's what gets me pumped, because I go, think of how many people gave that small, like not a small amount, but like
a lot less than like $1 million.
Yeah. And you go, that's so cool, because I don't always feel like every cause I can give $50, $100.
No.
And so all that stuff adds up, and you just go, that's community. That's so Minnesotan to like go, all right, get this to as many people as possible.
I love it.
I do too.
And it was super quick the way they did it with the little QR code. You can just hop on. I mean, over 15 million people were watching the Grammys. So it's so simple, especially nowadays when most people pay each other with Venmo. It's such an easy process that you got a lot of people that maybe that was going to be a gateway that they had to work through, to actually have to go through and do everything. Now it's connected. It's so easy. Everyone's got money usually floating around because of electronic payments with other people. It's a really easy process. I'm really glad a lot of people stepped up.
Me too.
Very cool. It's very cool. Meghan Markle, by the way, just because, I love to just follow. She posted a video, like one of the only videos I've ever seen her post that was just selfie camera. Hey, girl, look what arrived in the mail today video. And it was about, helping people from the fires. But I was like, dang, just seeing all them famous people giving money, doing things.
Totally.
Speaking of famous people, Giselle Bundchen had her baby.
Her little baby.
So all we know is she recently gave birth. So that could be last week. It could be today. We all found out as of today that it happened. She said that she and the newborn are healthy. They didn't say the sex or the name of the baby. This is, of course, her third child that she's had herself. She had her first two with Tom Brady, and then she also adopted his older son, I should say. And this is her first baby with her jiu-jitsu instructing boyfriend, Joaquim.
Wait, you said she's had two kids with Tom Brady?
Yep, she had two kids with Tom Brady. Her son, who's 15, and her daughter, who's 12.
So she has 4 kids in all?
In all, yep. So she...
Okay, that's where I was like, you gave birth a third. I get what you're saying.
Yeah. So his oldest son, he's 17. I think Jack is their oldest. And she's still a part of his life. She still posts, about him. Even though, obviously, she and Tom are divorced, and it's not like her biological son.
I was more intrigued because I thought you said she had, and then I realized you said that she... That's where I was like, wait, the numbers aren't numbering. And we all know I'm a mathlete. If anything.
Athlete.
No, I love that. I just think that's so exciting. As somebody who is also a geriatric pregnancy, I go, how cool. She's 44, I believe.
Yep.
Giselle, that's amazing. Congratulations to their family. That's so exciting.
So cute. And there's been a couple of interviews with it where she was like, they've lived together now. They've been together for about a year. And they both were like, well, it wasn't planned.
No.
But it happened, and we're grateful. And to Brittany's point, she's 44. So that also could be why she's like, we didn't think that we'd be having a baby, but here we are. Can I say, though?
What?
I thought about her all the time when I was pregnant. Because remember when she did that interview when she was pregnant with Benjamin?
About how you shouldn't gain that much weight?
She was like, I don't know why Americans treat themselves like garbage disposals when they eat. And I was like, I don't know why they do that either. Hey, can I have that Oreo? I know it's been on the floor for 15 days. Just blow on it.
I had the luxury of being pregnant with Rihanna at the same time.
Oh, what a luxury.
Thank you. And I was more like, I need to Julia would send me inspo pictures of her, what she wore out, and say, please wear this to work today. And it was just so funny because it was half of her bump is sticking out. And I go, All right, I do need to step it up for my
Step it up.
continuous leggings that I've wore over and over and
It
over
was
again.
like the only like blessing curse of working in TV when you're pregnant is that you can't like just dress like a sloth.
Oh, that's
So I like
terrible.
looked cute, but also it was a lot of work.
No, I don't.
No.
You're really putting a positive spin on it because it is so epic to just be like, I only own 2 pair of pants right now.
I did.
And pants is
truly,
in
yeah. I wore a lot of
parentheses.
dresses. I rented a lot of clothes because it was
Yeah.
like nothing fits. It's fine.
I threw out my pregnancy leggings because those bad boys need to be done.
They lived a life.
They lived a life.
A full life.
In 8 months, they lived a life. They had a full life. And I'm a donator too, but I was like, I can't.
No,
These
no.
are not. Anything you don't wear underwear with, you have to go, I don't think you can donate this. Thank you.
It's just wrong.
And like even recently, I still wear. I think finally I got rid of all my nursing bras, but they were comfy as hell.
Oh, I hated those things.
I loved them. They're so comfy, so like unnecessarily big. And it was like a tank top in a bra. It was so
That's true.
good. And then it would be like randomly unclip, and I go, I don't think I'm here anymore.
No,
Unfortunately,
I don't think anything needs to unclip these days.
not
no
quickly.
reason.
I think we're living a pretty regimented life. I don't think anyone needs to get to my nipples quick. Nobody.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
Get us out of this.
I will get us out of this
Thanks, Mike.
by talking about one of our faves, Brianna Chicken Fry,
Yeah.
because she is back. You know, there's different ways celebrities decide to say they're back on the market or they're dating or they're
Yeah.
whatever. She's using the TMZ route because if you haven't seen Brianna Chicken Fry, she, of course, most recently related to, and we talked about her with Zach Bryan.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I have to remind everybody, Zach Bryan, if you're
Yes.
not a country music fan, don't get Zach Bryan confused with Luke Bryan. And Luke Bryan, of course, isn't Luke Combs. And then, you know, Zach Bryan's also not Zach Brown, who isn't Kane Brown either. Zach Brown sang Chicken Fry, where Zach Bryan dated Chicken Fry. It's been a while again. I'm sorry. I kind of stumbled in the middle of it.
No,
but-
you did great.
TMZ has got this as an article. It's so funny because you can always tell where the calls are coming from and who's pushing these when the stories are like Travis Scott gets banned by security after a Clippers-Lakers game. Giselle has her 3rd child. You got all these real news stories, and then all of a sudden it's single and ready to mingle in New Orleans. What?
Okay.
Okay.
And it's literally just pictures of Brianna Chicken Fry walking around, making her presence felt that she's in New Orleans, of course, for the Super Bowl, and she's ready to mingle.
Like, what does ready to mingle look like? Do I walk around ready to mingle?
Yeah. Do we give the vibe?
Do we give a mingle vibe?
She's giving a vibe.
Yeah.
You could look at the pictures.
Oh,
she's,
yeah.
She's giving a vibe.
She says,
She's
mingle?
wearing things that are giving lots of vibes.
She says, yes, please to mingle. But sometimes when I'm dressed like that, I'm like, nope, no, don't talk to me.
I guess there'd be more paparazzi there because of the Super Bowl, but I'm also like, if this is what we're covering, that means there's really no paparazzi there yet because nobody's there yet.
Also, yeah,
But
she
her.
just did the Victoria's Secret, or no. Was it?
SI.
SI swimsuit,
Sports Illustrated, like swimsuit
Yeah, their
spread.
digital cover.
Yeah. So I was like, that's when she was, I would think that was when she was the most single, ready to mingle.
And I don't know if she's shooting something for Barstool or what she's up to, but she is walking around with a camera, which if there's one way to make sure the paparazzi see you is by walking around with a camera.
Unfortunately, Barstool's like stalking me.
Oh, no.
I know. No, I know.
It's hot.
Well, they did reach out for a video for me, and then ever since, they've been like weirdly obsessed with me because they constantly are in my algorithm, and I won't even like one of their videos. I don't like them at all.
Yeah.
I've like decided I don't like them. It's
Except
fine.
Peaches. I mean,
Except Peach. I mean, I'm not mad at Peaches or what's
No.
their brother's name? Pete.
Pete.
Yeah.
Peaches.
But Dave Portnoy, I think, recently has left their podcast. Again, this is like what I've acquired. So their BFF podcast now officially is Brianna Chicken Fry leading it with the other boy who's also in these photos. I don't know his name.
I wonder if it'll be as popular without Dave Portnoy.
Josh Richards. I don't know because he added like an old man fun vibe that I think like people kind of liked. And so I bet you anything Barstool Sports put money into this TMZ thing to promote her and then of course the BFF podcast. So
Yeah, because I don't really see them having much to talk about once this whole thing dies down, which it kind of already has.
It has. We decided to leave Zach Bryan in 2024.
Yeah, he's gone.
Well, he's not dead. I almost said R.I.P.
dig deep into those behind TMZ and dig deep into those behind Barstool, and they run the same circles. It's all right. Makes sense.
Oh, they're all besties.
They're besties, just like the podcast would imply.
Cute.
You guys were besties. They don't even know what besties are.
Yeah, you don't even know. God.
Thank you.
Which, by the way, I might say, may I say, today I walked around the office taking these videos.
Yeah.
To see who the real millennials of the staff of Hubbard Broadcasting were. And you can spot one and you can hear one very quickly. And Mike and Brittany passed the test with flying colors. The test, in case anyone is curious, and you can watch, I'm going to post this video tomorrow. I'll put it on all of our socials. But
play along at home when you're listening.
It's, if I would say to you, "Burr, it's cold in here," you would say, "What, everybody at home?"
There must be some toros in the atmosphere. I said.
Also, it was interesting to see who said toros and who said clovers.
Yeah.
Like there was like okay. Like you both went toros. I went clovers. Kelsey Sells. Hey, Kelsey. Went clovers. But like it was interesting, the discrepancy. And if you're listening, you're like, what the hell are you saying? This is from Bring It On. It was a touchstone of our lives.
I don't even think, like, because me and my stepbrother, like, I don't think I could say the word burr in front of him without one of us going off.
It's cold in here.
Yeah, like
literally.
And so it's like around certain companies, especially if I'm like at the 90s, I would never say burr because I would assume that's what was going to set off.
It was fascinating. Even like Stormy, like Stormer was like, I don't know. I'm like, how old are you? 30. I'm like, what? Made me feel sad for all of them. Anyway, we'll post it on social tomorrow. My Talk 1071, Kendall.Mark, Britt Arneson, and Mike J. Ganger. Okay. Speaking of social, Brian Austin Green is in the headlines because he has just had it with MGK. If you didn't remember this, of course, MGK and Megan Fox have been together. They've broken up. They've been together. They've broken up. Well, recently, they broke up for good. She is pregnant, about to have their baby.
Yeah.
Brian Austin Green comes into this because that is Megan Fox's ex. They share 3 children together, and they have a great relationship as co-parents.
They feel very like they support each other, too. And even
Very
in the press,
much so.
they haven't really ever said anything bad about each other. They rarely touch on their relationship, but when there's only been like a couple comments that were like, we didn't work.
Yeah, and it was like, we both realized at the same time this just wasn't working anymore.
Yeah.
So MGK posted the other day that, because a lot of articles about how they haven't seen each other since their split in November. And he basically like had this cryptic picture of him shirtless where he said, how can sources say when sources don't even know? Like, what the hell?
By myself photos staring out a window.
So creepy. So Brian Austin Green takes the time to go to Instagram and go, he's like, bro, just be honest for once in your life. Stop caring so much about how you're perceived that you will try and drag other people. And that was really it. Really, since then,
was that all? So that was on his
story, Brian Austin Green's story. And then Brian Austin Green said one other thing. He basically, when he found out, he said this about MGK. He's like, "You're in your 30s. Like, grow the beep up. She's pregnant. I just want the best for her. I want the best for the baby. I want the best for our kids. It's such a shame." Which is so right. Like, because when she announced that she was pregnant, he was one of the first people to come out. He and his wife Sharna were like, we are so excited for this blessing. Like, can't wait to have another family member.
Yes. And like, as somebody who's in a very, we used to have a terrible word for it. Like
blended family?
Yes. A blended family. This is great. That kind of vibe of somebody has a kid, everyone's excited about it, even if they're an ex or whatever, is so sweet, refreshing, and the way that it should be is that like, well, of course we'll see this baby at some point when we're trading off kiddos, you know, like.
And these are their siblings. Like, our kids are their siblings.
Yes.
So we wanted, like, at the end of the day, the maturity that was shown between Brian Austin Green and Megan Fox and Sharna Burgess is what is goals for anybody. Because it doesn't matter what you think and feel. Be an adult because those kids deserve a good life, right?
And I hate saying this, and I say it all the time, though, so I guess I must not hate it that much. But I really do believe she gave him one more chance when he got sober. And like, this should
MGK.
solve.
She gave MGK a chance.
Yes, my MGK, because she's not the type to really give a lot of chances. She doesn't seem like the type that would be like I don't know, willing to deal with other. She doesn't suffer fools. It doesn't feel that way. She's a very independent lady. When she took him back, and I know this because of my own crap I bring into here, is that there's been times in my life where you think, now that this person is sober, things are going to go differently. And when they don't, you go, no, this is a systemic issue they never dealt with. And I feel strongly about that. I feel like she really, especially got pregnant and he got sober. It's like, okay, we're ready. We're ready for this. And when he again showed her who he really is this time, she believed him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the one thing that this whole thing with Brian Austin Green has done is it's given me, because I may have fallen into the trap of, oh, it's Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly. They're just doing weird stuff. That's what they do. They're drinking each other's blood. They're wearing the rings that got the thorns in it, so you can't take it off. There's all of these, like, really, you're just begging for attention type things. When you see how her relationship is with her ex, it makes me feel better and makes me feel like, okay, it's the MGK side of this equation that has been the issue, not necessarily maybe all the Megan Fox side of it.
I'm telling you guys, the biggest red flag out there, if you're in the dating world, is if they talk crap. They used to be like, if they talk crap of their mom, no, screw that. If they talk crap about their exes, that is the biggest red flag ever. And if you can find somebody who goes, it didn't work out and I really love them still, especially if they're raising kids together. If you can find somebody who has that mantra, grab them up.
Right?
Because that is amazing. That is growth. That is like, and like Mike said, too, is like, and the best thing for the kid, or I think Kendall, or you, Mike, that you guys said the best thing for the kids. It's so impressive. Like,
so true. If they're just ragging on this ex, it's like,
oh, run.
Okay, well,
run. Because they have, either way, passion, and it comes in two forms. And they're still either madly in love with that person, or they have the kind of anger that will carry on forever. You're going to have, that person will be in your relationship forever. That third party. I know. Run. I know.
Thank you.
Because I was dating in my 30s, and I remember going on a date with somebody who was just like, F my ex, all these things. And I was like, you're not over them.
Right. You're like, we're on a date.
Yes.
Like a date.
Like, I literally wouldn't have and they didn't have kids together either. I was like, you're crazy for that.
I remember the first date with Jordan. He had been engaged before we met.
Wow.
I didn't know that was our first date.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's something interesting about you that I wouldn't know? And he's like, well, get out of the way. I've been engaged before. And I was 24. So it's at that age, for whatever reason, that kind of does mean something to some people. And I was like, oh, wow. So you were and then, of course, my follow-up question is like, well, do you cheat? Are you still in love with her? Am I wasting my time? To get that serious with someone. And all he would really say was like, he's like, yeah, just, we were two people that probably never should have been together. And all my friends and family said the same thing. And then when it became really clear, it was like, all right, we're done. And that was it.
You
and it was like, okay.
You're like, I'm wifeying this person up right now.
Yeah. And like, since then, even 11 years later, I don't really know much about her. It doesn't really matter.
Because she's not in your relationship.
No, it doesn't matter at all. He still had the ring because he got it back.
Yeah.
And so I was always like, I kind of want to see it.
Yeah.
And I did look one time and I was like, no taste. She had no taste. We're fine.
What if he picked it out?
He was like, she picked it out and I approved it. And I was like, finally one day I was like, okay, fine, I want to see it. Because he was going to exchange it for a little bit of money back so we could get my ring.
Yeah.
And so I was like, fine, I want to look. And I was like, girl, back up. That is so ugly. I can't believe you even bought that, Jordan. That girl has no taste.
Jaw on the floor right now. But
Kendall
has more emotional attachment to the ex-fiance than Jordan does. I wouldn't date Kendall in this scenario. I'd go,
he's like, all right, honey. He's like,
shady boots. She ain't over Jordan's ex.
He's like, honey, this is why I love you. Because that's like, of course,
Of course you did.
Well, she has no taste. Obviously, she didn't have good enough taste to keep you either. So, bye.
I love it.
Travis Kelce, he's got excellent taste.
He sure does.
If we might say. So they're obviously doing like a ton of Super Bowl press right now. Mm-hmm. And some idiot head, and I get it. When you are at these giant press conferences, you run out of dang questions.
Yes.
And you're like, I need to ask something.
I saw like a cut up reel that was how many people asked him which his favorite Taylor Swift song is. And it's
like, okay. So this reporter said, Travis, I got to know, I know you're dating Taylor Swift, but do you have any Kanye on your hype playlist? And Travis just looked at him, dead face, no. And then moved on to the next question. There
But
was no
strong,
follow-up. There was nothing.
As a big time Swiftie though, Stronger is a really good hype up song and it's Kanye's. But I love his answer. You just lie about it. I've been lying about not listening to Kanye for years.
And like, I think that anyone, we just talked about like goods and bads of relationships. Anybody that like, listen, I don't need you to defend me. I don't need you to do anything for me. I'm like a strong, independent person.
Yes, I do.
But I do want you to be like, hell no.
No, extreme loyalty.
Like, that's my girl.
You're
like,
my person. Taylor and Travis should be each other's persons. And I'm about to make $20 off of that bet, by the way.
Hells yeah.
I bet Reavers that they would last over a year, and it was on February 13th of 2024. So
Hey,
I'm about to come into some money. No, but I think there's not a lot of people I can ask extreme, biased, ride or die loyalty. And like, unfortunately, you two are one of like, or two of those people, but your partner should be another one.
Right? It's just, no, go ahead.
One thing I love from this story, though, is, man, how far Travis has come. Because you remember, it wasn't too long ago, he made some mistakes.
Yes.
Said some stuff he shouldn't have said.
Totally.
Now, between the fact that, because Media Day on Monday, it's a free-for-all. The Super Bowl
insane.
Monday, they just let anybody, and I'm not joking.
Yeah,
like,
it's not kids asking
on
questions.
Mondays are when they just allow social media influence. Anybody just can ask questions. And he was asked so many questions, like, oh, when are you going to propose?
Yeah.
And then he said, like, Super Bowl ring? Next question type of like he just moved on. Then they asked him about the officiating and if it's being skewed your direction. Like these are topics that an actual journalist would never actually ask you, but he handled it like an absolute pro. He knew every single thing he was going to say, and we know why.
And to Mike's, I mean, tree pain is all up in him now, and I mean that literally.
Pretty.
I mean it literally. He's being played like a puppet. Tree Payne has his hand up his booty and saying, "This is what you have to." Because
VIP-ness is not coming back already today.
last year he was not at all this polished. Remember how many things came out last year, and we're like, "Stop! I know that you think you're joking. We know that you think you're LOLing, but it's not." And even just an interview not too long ago, somebody had asked. He'd accidentally talked about new music she's working on, and he was like, "Just please don't get me in trouble." Like,
play it, Mike. You know
yes, of course I will. I also love, for those who don't realize though, like during the Grammys when you saw Taylor taking all those pictures and everything, and then she literally was like having a conversation with Tree Payne right before walking out to say, okay, how are we going to do this? Like everything from a PR standpoint is so calculated with him.
So
I know.
And his very impressive.
Your VIP-ness is absolutely unhinged. It is wild.
we love a good VIP-ness.
Don't take Brittany too literally, but maybe do.
But maybe do with the Tree Payne of it all. I would let Tree Payne put her hand up my butt and control what I'm saying.
What?
Then I wouldn't say this as much. I wouldn't be in this situation. I wouldn't have said VIP-ness.
Your VIP-ness is absolutely unhinged. It is wild.
Hey, by the way, did you see that dedication from me
You were,
to back her up?
yeah. No, you were
Extra.
right there.
We both need Tree Payne.
Yes, we both need a little Tree Payne in our life.
Yeah.
Just a finger.
Why we gotta go there?
Oh.
Only 30 more seconds. People are trying to. I don't know actually what they're trying to do right now. Go there. Just do it.
I know.
I also do love that this article goes into like her entire history with Kanye.
Yeah,
And
of course
like,
it does.
And like the end of it all, you go, God, Kanye in the news because he might lose millions of dollars for walking his wife around naked versus Taylor just ended the tour of the century of all time and her boyfriend is playing for the Super Bowl.
I know.
It's weird.
And, like,
how things end up.
It's too bad.
Too bad.
It's too bad. Oh, so
Look at the
sad.
time. So
Sorry,
sad.
Kanye.
So
Hopefully things will go better for you. Hopefully you'll quit saying absolutely horrendous stuff as well.
yeah, and like not be like most unhinged, uneducated person.
That'd be great. We'd love that for you
We'd
in
love that for you.
2025. It is a growing mindset of 2025.